blank canvas might be the scariest thing for an artist. So what if you started without a blank canvas and used a photo instead? Well, today, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be making sketches out of photos. I'm going to be painting over the photos I have to create something new. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I have this photo that I took on the way home one day of a sunset. It's a really crazy looking sunset, so I thought it would be kind of cool to mess around with this and create something cool out of it. I was realizing like maybe if I flip the clouds from each other, I could make almost like a storm kind of swirling in the middle. Have something glowing, probably the sun, or something else, something maybe magical or something like that. And I put it inside of a mountain. And I had this cool picture of a sunrise out my window of the woods, and I really liked how the sky looked. It was crazy looking. And I just kind of go and paint over it. It's generally the same thing. I kind of merge two trees together to make a bigger looking one. And I go through and just paint some more branches, just kind of as I see fit. So it's changing it, but it's very similar to what it was. And I go in and add some figures in here as well, just to get maybe a sense of scale for it. Not really detailed. And these aren't supposed to be detailed paintings. They're kind of meant me to just kind of get some cool ideas. And I really liked how the pinks and the reds in here, and I should really use this color palette. And it was kind of interesting to fit with a forest as well. Kind of reminds me of Starburst a little bit. And there you have it for that one, which wasn't too bad. And I like the first two that I did. This one's going to be a little more rough. Manipulated a little bit. I just cropped some clouds, just a random section. Kind of start painting in something here. Put it almost like a ring in the sky.
They call it Halo.
And then I just stop and move on to another section of it. Figure out something else inside of here. I saw some blimp shapes that I thought would be kind of cool to put a few blimps in there. Once I saw one, I painted in a couple more. That told a pretty interesting story, but it's kind of, I wasn't too happy with this. And then this was a picture of my coffee. I think I'll put the pictures of my reference, or what it originally was, in the corner. But this was a picture of coffee where I just added some milk to hot coffee, and it kind of made this cool effect to it. And I kind of saw maybe there's some interesting shapes in here, so I kind of brought out some of the shapes that I saw, and then okay, this kind of looks like a cave, like a really weird looking cave, maybe something on Mars or something. It's almost alien looking. And then let's move on to the next one. I had this really cool tree picture that I liked. It wasn't a solid tree, it was just kind of some branches with a hole in it. And more sunrise stuff again. I'm a sucker for it. I mean, who isn't? And I just liked how the golden look to it is. And I kind of turn it into one big tree. And I messed with the scale a little bit because I put in some more figures in here as well. It was a foggy morning too, so all the sunlight was bouncing all around. So it made a really cool looking, it was a really cool drive to school that day. I took this years ago. And yeah, I don't know, it's pretty simple, straightforward. I like the colors. I like how I kind of saw a tree in there and manipulated into a brand new scene. And this is one that I might actually go back and finish. Alright, now I'm doing a tunnel. I didn't really know what I was doing with this. I was just trying to mess around with different things. Thought maybe there was a night storm with a ship going through. I end up getting rid of it, even though I think it's kind of cool looking back on it. And I try and put in do some other layers with it. But honestly, I could have just made something really cool by just flipping it upside down. And then I just make a weird looking thing. I would say this one's a failure. Other ones weren't so far. Then I do a weird like figure in it, and I don't know what it's doing there. Alright, here's one picture that I took of quartz. This picture was taken in the Mineral Museum at Michigan Tech. Shout out to the homies in the UP. And I just kind of messed around with this one. This one probably I struggled with the most. I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm like, okay, I put it here. Maybe it's a city. Maybe you turn it into a castle. Because it kind of has that like citadel look to it. I was thinking maybe it was underground in a cave. Because I'm obsessed with sunrises and caves, apparently. And this one, I just go at it for a while. There's just so much to do in it. So I'm just thinking maybe I use the stamp tool a lot, so I can just replicate part of the image. This one was also at the same Mineral Museum. And I was thinking, this kind of looks like a throne room, and then I kind of like pulled some shapes out to see if I could get some building blocks or like almost like Legos to play with. But it kind of comes out a little weird, and I spent a lot of time on it, and like eventually like, okay, I think I have enough to kind of get my idea, and I could see revisiting this image again. But I really like the idea of having like a crystal throne room. Maybe some light shining in through the top. It also doesn't exactly look like a throne room either. It kind of looks like an entrance to a building. So it could be either way. Maybe it could be like a combination of both. Maybe there's like a guard. Tried painting in some figures to kind of give the idea. There was someone there. And there you have it. That's all my thoughts on those sketches. I know they were pretty quick. I didn't spend too much time talking about them. Alright, I want to go over some of my favorite ones that I made. This one I did go back and touch up a little bit. Probably like another half hour. There's still a lot more work to be done if it's to be a full painting. I'm going to go in the order of that I made them. And then here's the second painting I made. So the first two were like ones that I really liked. I love the colors in this one. I know the picture's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. Still, it was a fun one to do. And then the coffee one, this one's, I think, it's just the craziest looking one. Because it's coffee. Like, I mean, that's awesome. It's made out of coffee. This is my last of the ones that I liked in here, which was this tree. And the color palette was really what I was drawing from it, and lighting. So there you have it, I got 4 sketches that I really liked out of here. So I would probably do a little bit more exploring on my own. So this golden tree one and this purple thunderstorm are ones that I'm going to go back and work on and probably finish. I hope this video was at least interesting for you. You might not want to do this by yourself, but at least find it entertaining to see the different stuff you can do with digital art. And until next time, Dartagon out.